We're on. Here we go. Who saw that? That's why we have the 360 camera, folks. Because I've been waiting for Latino gentlemen to have their little ball roll towards me. How's everybody doing? Station identification. It's Big Al's Grill ASMR. You might be noticing I don't have a grill with me. Well, guess what? Numbnuts. I didn't get anything from Ralph's. And since me, Kenny, and Emmett were all doing a little bit of a production meeting today, it was real nice. And I thought, you know, let's just go bang out a pot. I got some stuff I want to say anyway. I got to figure out. Kenny is right now giving Emmett a water, and he's going to pass one to me. Look at that. We are sponsored, as always, by Jamba Juice. We're sponsored, of course, like we are every week, by Butter. Get your perineum massagers, guys. The promo code DRENCHED still works if you want it. Like, I talked to our boy CJ, the owner and proprietor CEO of Butter Wellness. Just use it. I mean, literally, I'm not getting paid for this. No one's making any money. We moved over to TMG, and nobody's listening, so we're not making any money. Right, Kenny?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, that's right.
Yeah.
We've been, listen, it's not going well. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel like I'm losing my mind. What do you guys think the move is? What do you think the move is in general? Because I don't think these peaceful protests are gonna work anymore. I don't think it's working. Peaceful, we can start with that. But like, it seems as though any sort of resistance is successfully painted as anti-American by the current administration and by our government. And before I really get into the meat and potatoes of this pod, I would love to just give a quick shout out to the beautiful cities of Seattle and Portland. Wow, what a beautiful time I had there at Emerald City Comedy Club, first and foremost in Seattle. Check that place out. Shout out to my openers, Brandon, and then the other guy, I believe his name was Taylor Clark. He was a good guy too. I liked him a lot. But guys, what a show that was. I mean, that was one of my favorite shows I've had on the tour. Just absolute banger time. I love that city. I love walking around during the summertime when it's actually nice out. I feel like I have a new lease on life in the PNW. What else is there anything I wanted to say? Oh, I got to hang out at Linda's afterwards. And then conversely, in Portland, the city that our president is now waging war on, I was there all weekend with young Luke Binkow and my girlfriend Paige. It was so nice. How nice is that? I'm throwing the sunglasses back on because the sun's coming out. My favorite part of going to these weekends is telling everybody at the late shows to go out to a certain bar afterwards, and then we all get to hang out. Like, you know, in Seattle, we all went to Linda's. In Portland, it was Paymaster. And it just really gives me a chance to hang out with you guys and just hang out as like a squad. I mean, to everybody that came out and chilled, I really appreciate that. You just get to like, I get to learn about you. You guys get to like hang out, learn about me a little bit more, even though I'm very open on this podcast anyway. But it is fun to like hear what you guys are into. You know, sometimes I get people that come up and they're like, dude, I fucking love the pod. Like, you know, this is what I do. I'm a teacher, or I'm an artist. Other people are just like, dude, Trump 2028. And I'm like, okay, interesting. That's crazy sometimes when people say that to me. I just want to demolish cervezas with the kind folk who keep my dumb dreams alive. That's all I really want to do, guys. I'm a simple man. If you come to the show, chances are I'm gonna tell you a good old dive bar where we can have a couple 200-300 Miller High Lifes, and we're gonna cheers with our champagne flutes at that dive bar. And that's my favorite part. That's why I do it, because I want to get to know you. All right, I want to hold you in my arms. I want to sit you down on my lap and ask you what you want for Christmas. And yeah, Portland's my shit. I think every time I go back to that city, that was my third time at Helium Comedy Club. Shout out to Maya, shout out to Jesus for making that club feel so welcoming and making it feel like home. And there's the plane. These are all flying into Santa Monica Airport, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. That's good. But yeah, we went to the farmer's market, we went to Powell's bookstore, Paymaster. I mean, anytime you can get me a dive bar with a pool table outside, I'll blow up a No, I'm kidding. Cut that out, okay?
Or we'll leave it in.
Yeah, or we'll leave it in. You know? Hey, a dive bar with a pool table outside. Can I have my birthday here? You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But the reports of Portland's demise are greatly exaggerated, I can tell you right now. They're exaggerated, if not fabricated. There's a couple, two tree fentanyl tents, a few homeless here and there. But I was not, I wasn't sipping an iced Americano from a foxhole while Antifa shelled the Artisan Bakery. That's what people think's going on. Okay? I wasn't riding an electric scooter over tripwires. That's what they think of. They think of these cities. They go, oh, it's a war zone. Really? I'm there. Okay? If anyone's gonna get hit in the war zone, it's me. You can't hide my fat donk in a war zone. Okay? If I'm in a bunker, they're gonna spot it out and I'm gonna get shot in the butt. I would love to see Trump roll the natty guard through Portland. That's the only place they actually protest with balls, too. Like, oh, it's like, it's like women in their 70s being like, the library increased the late fees. Okay, well, I'm gonna firebomb a McDonald's. They protest like the French. That's what they do. The French will create a 10-deep human shield on train tracks if they decrease vacation days from 60 to 59. That's what they do. Like, you ever see those, like, the Yellow Jackets came out because the price of the baguette went up €2. It's just some dude in a fucking, smoking a cig with a, it is liberty we're speaking of, we? Yeah, man. French, that's why I appreciate the French, because they protest so hard for any sort of change in their social program or any sort of social safety net, because they have their quality of life. It's a higher quality of life. That's the problem. America's culture is one of, like, no breaks, no breathing, 6 days of working, and guess what? You have to go to church on Sundays. We don't have a good quality of life, so that's why I feel like we're not willing to resort to, like, property damage when things get truly bad. Isn't that strange to us? Like, the way in which we have such a aversion to property damage, like, in American society, whereas, like, you go to, like, France and you see these people protesting over, like, the cappuccino price going up by 2 cents. And we're like, oh, wait, they're taking away our health care? Well, I'm going to start a GoFundMe. We're kind of pussies a little bit in that regard, aren't we? I think it's good we speak out. I think we're trying all we can right now, but yeah, we never had any nice things in the first place. So, like, we're not invested in getting them as hard as, like, and also, like, the elites have just, like, completely distracted us with culture war to be even remotely interested in class war. The French have a long history of, whereas, like, the United States, we are very much, we talk about the American Revolution. That was against what you could describe as, like, maybe like a foreign power that was ruling over us. We were colonists. Whereas the French, an entire, like, they had the first, the second, and the third estate. It's an entire class war, really, they were going up against. That's where they allowed them to mobilize. Don't get me wrong, the French Revolution was a bloody affair that lasted, of course, like 10 years and ended with Napoleon's eventual rise to power. However, they had class consciousness. We don't have that here. We're too busy, If we cared a quarter as much about minimum wage or immigration as we did the Black Little Mermaid, holy fuck, we'd be great. We'd be so good. We would be ready to rock. Instead, it's just people online being like, you know what? I don't know why they have Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl. And then that turns into, like, liberals being like, yeah, but you have to slay girl boss, let it happen. And then leftists will come out with a 15-page Instagram infograph about how Bad Bunny's intersectionality between Latin Afro music and socialism is actually, I'm like, what are we doing? Get in the streets. Blow up. Not with anybody in it, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm getting into the meat and potatoes too quick. Do you think I'm getting too, Emmett, tell me, do you think I'm getting in too quick?
Not at all. Not at all.
I just hope my thoughts are actually cohesive at this point, but let me ask you, the listener and Kenny and Emmett, how are you guys chilling out? Are you guys, how I find myself being totally mental. And because we have a president waging war on anti-American cities.
What's the question?
You don't even pay attention. You don't even pay attention, dude. You just sit there and you let me scream into the void, and then you're like, I think I'm gonna have chicken for dinner. This is what every podcast producer does, dude. They sit there on their phone and then they go, yeah. I'm kidding, Emmett. You do a great job. I'm being very mean. I'm lashing out. No, I'm asking you, how are you chilling out? Like, how are you chilling out amongst everything going on right now?
I think what you said one of the other episodes was to try your best not to be nihilistic, to stay hopeful, to read and to also better understand the larger situations at play. And if you're a fan of history or a person who knows history, that you know that stuff like this continues to happen. So to not feel like this is new and unique gives you a little bit of solace.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah, it does. We do have to remind ourselves. I think that's what bothers me so much, is that it's not new and unique. Mm-hmm. And if, you're well informed, like I think us three gentlemen are, us three wise men, us three kings of the desert, you know that we are, we're in a moment like many other countries have been in before. What about you, Kenny? What have you been doing?
Lifting weights.
That rocks.
That gets me chilled out.
That does lift. What are you benching right now?
I've been, I don't know if I want to reveal that on the pod.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm going to get comments like, that's pussy shit.
No.
That number's not even impressive. I'll say this. I've been doing dumbbell press.
Dumbbell press is actually really good for your shoulders.
Really? Kenny's a big guy.
Kenny is big.
I'm not. Well, am I being shown on the pod? Because
yeah, you
I know
can always
Emmett,
be shown. Emmett can't be shown until we hit 100,000 subs, and then it's only going to be his hole.
All right, hit that sub button.
Hit that sub button, guys. Remember, we were talking about it today in the production meeting, how we put up the graphic that says it would really mean a lot if you commented, liked, and subscribed. I don't know if anybody's doing it. We signed with a company. No one's going to know. We have the only advertisers don't even pay us anymore. This is why I love this podcast. We're like a pirate ship that, has leaks everywhere. Yeah, man. I find myself just going totally mental, dude. Should I join a run club? Would wearing some Nike moon boots and physically fleeing from reality every hour and a half, would that help me? Would that help me out? Do you think I'd be just jogging up other next to members, just being like, they're saying Tylenol causes autism. I got 2 more miles left. Anybody got a pen, by the way? Can you see that? Just drawing swastikas. I don't know, guys. It's crazy, dude. I'm getting to the point now where I'm like visually, and I've been at this point before on this pod. I've talked about it. I'm getting to the point again where I'm like, I visualize myself arguing with people in my life about politics. I'm in line at Chipotle strategizing about shit to say, and I'll just burst out and be like, well, then why won't he release the list? I'm gonna do black beans, brown rice, do you guys still do carne asada? It causes autism? Right. I'll do chicken. I'm losing it, dude. It's important for all of us to remember the moment we're living in and how it's wrong. Like, I feel so helpless. And I know we all feel helpless out there. This is a podcast about positivity. This is about not being nihilistic, like you said, Emmett. However, I'm willing to admit that I feel very helpless. It feels as though my world is just getting bigger and bigger every day with the problems, and there's nothing I can do to help, because I'm front row seat to every major conflict in this world, and I have no way to control any of it. Maybe I should learn Spanish. You know what would help me out? Soy loco. Huh? To feel is sentir, right?
I don't know.
I don't want to have. Tener is to have. So I don't want to. Yo tengo loco. That doesn't make sense, to have crazy. I have crazy. I have crazy. I have crazy. You feel crazy. Shut up, Emmett. Oh my God, dude. Have we even crossed 10 minutes yet? We're not even at 10 minutes.
No, we're at 17 minutes. We're doing
Oh my God, dude. This is nuts. I think the only thing that is really giving me solace is my lady at the moment.
Shouts out, Paige.
Shouts out, Paige. Just being in love is so new to me, and it makes me feel really safe. And I didn't realize that's one of the big hallmarks of it, is just the safety I feel. And I just feel like, oh my God, it's all away, it's all gone.
That is what keeps the nihilism at bay.
That is what keeps the nihilism, feeling safe.
Yes.
Because I think what they talked about on Elephant Graveyard, which, by the way, Elephant Graveyard, you have to check out Comedy Jonestown. Check that out. Is how the reason why all these people, I think, still support this administration is because they want a feeling of order. You know, things might be bad, but at least they understand it, and at least there's order in their, like, there's a perceived order. When, like, realistically, these people are just trying to create disorder so that they can, quote unquote, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in troops to un-American cities creates order. When you just need to realize that life, you know, yeah, you're gonna feel unsafe, you know, you're gonna feel unsafe, things are gonna be out of order, but you have to expect that life is full of serendipitous moments and unexpected, you know, challenges. And maybe it's because that our lives have become like so without friction on our phones, and our realities are so warped by how easily we can get things now, that any sort of disorder that might have come from, like, you know, your regular, like, societal tumult now no longer is, like, acceptable whatsoever. So feeling safe in a relationship has definitely helped me feel really well, feel really great about it. And you know, because there's so often that I don't feel up to the task, or I don't feel like up to the task of doing this podcast, or I feel unworthy of an accolade, and I think her support gives me a lot of extra strength to get there. So it's coming at a very important juncture in my life where I feel like these shows, especially on the road, and this show in particular, is really starting to build and grow, and I have people that want to see us succeed and see everybody succeed. So It does mean the world to me. And just, it was great because she got to come with me to Portland. If you were at the Portland shows, shout out, I love you. Taryn, shout out Taryn. Thanks for buying a t-shirt. You rock. Shout out my boy who said in the middle of the set on the Late Show, and I was like, I'm gonna do an impression. And then he goes, no bits, only impressions, out loud. And it's the Late Show, so there was only 40 people there, so I heard it real clear.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. Dude, there were a bunch of pod fans at the shows, and that made the world, that was the best. And to everybody that couldn't get a t-shirt in Portland because we sold out in Seattle from pod fans and all that stuff, guys, check out underneath in the description, you can buy a t-shirt. Don't expect it to come very soon because I'm really bad at sending them out. So that's just a heads up. I'm gonna temper expectations right now. But she came with me, she got to open, she killed, and the best part was Luke Binkow, shout out Luke Binkow, was hosting, and we did a fun little game where Luke would host, bring out Paige, and then Paige at the end of her set would go, all right guys, as an Asian comic, as an Asian woman, I'm statistically dating one of the white guys on this show, and you guys have to guess which one it is. So she would introduce me, I'd give her a big old smooch, slap her on the ass, and then I'd go, give it up for Luke's girlfriend, everybody. That got a big hit. That was a big hit. People in Portland loved it. People in Portland love infidelity. They love infidelity. They go, that guy should be in a throuple. Oh, man. I feel like I fucking spewed my load in the beginning of this pod talking about the feelings on all the matters, but...
That was your meat and potatoes, or you still have
That was most of my meat and potatoes, to be honest. I had a lot of meat and potatoes there. I mean, I guess I could be like every other comedian and talk about the Riyadh Comedy Fest, but we've spoken about this ad nauseum, have we not?
Not really.
We haven't? Mm-mm. All right, I'll summarize it like this. My favorite podcast is... And I've thought about this. My favorite podcast is Spittin' Chicklets. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's a very hockey podcast with Ryan Whitney, Paul Bissonnette, Keith Yandel. If you guys are big hockey people, you probably have definitely heard of it then. But the reason why I think I love that podcast and why I keep going back towards it is not just because I'm a hockey fan, is because of the way when they interview people, they interview a lot of guys that are ex-NHLers, that maybe they're Hall of Famers, Stanley Cup champions, but also a lot of guys that, are just like legends in their own right of being like minor league grind shows, like a couple games in the NHL, but like they got all the stories. And the through line of all of that is that they are stewards of the game. Do you know what I mean? All these guys they interview and themselves are people that want to grow the game, they are caretakers of the game, and they want to highlight the people that really, they want to highlight the people that are living examples of how great hockey is. And I think about that podcast because when I think about Riyadh Comedy Fest, I go, we have these legends of the game, of the comedy game, selling out for the bag in a way that's like pretty morally reprehensible. And you know what? They'll have their reasons. I get it. But for to watch Kevin Hart be like, oh, it was amazing, man. Thank you, Prince Bashir. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. It's sad, man. It feels like it's as if Sidney Crosby in the latter half of his career took $500 million to go play in Russia. That's what it feels like. You know what I mean? It bums me out. Because you go like, man, I guess it was never really about the cups and the championships. That's what bums me out, I don't know if that's an apt example or a good counter, but that's the way I feel about it. Because it really does bum me out where I go these guys, they're supposed to be champions of freedom of speech, champions of the art. And here they are compromising that in a country that doesn't allow for actual freedom of speech. And it's they're just doing it for a bag, man. Bums me out. That's my thoughts on the Riyadh thing. And you can only hope that I just want to be a good example for everybody else. Lead by example, really, at the end of the day. Be a steward of the game, all right? And maybe I'm talking about the game so much because I am rewatching The Wire, and I did just finish season 1. In the words of Omar, that be the game, yo.
How much did you get paid for the Pyongyang festival?
Oh, for the Pyongyang Comedy Festival?
What was that bag?
It was 500 yen, which is, I figured out, is actually $5. I'm taking hey, trust me, the visa's not even worth it. I know, dude, the Pyongyang Comedy Fest. Shout out. JT got mad at me, dude, because a bunch of people have made that joke since then. Because, it's been this week where all the media attention has started up with the Riyadh Festival. It's just very weird watching, Dave Chappelle, put his hands in sand and then go. I mean, I get it, dude. It's you get paid, but I've been very public on this podcast. We don't get paid. We're not making any money, but we do it for the love of the game. We're not here to compromise the fun that we're having and the art in chase of a bag. Trust me, we're leaving a lot of money on the table by not, advertising with Blue Chew and DraftKings. But that's because I don't believe in it. I'm not going to compromise people. I don't know. And this is the other thing that I hate, where now I sound like a fucking moral arbiter. Just a man. Shut that fucking baby up. Shut that baby up. Unbelievable. Does she not know what's going on right now? We're in the middle of talking about the Riyadh Comedy Fest, and there's a baby talking. Does she have something to say about Gaza? There's another baby. You got babies everywhere. This is why we're filming at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to London, and I'm going to Dublin, and I'm going to Edinburgh, and I'm going to Manchester, guys, very soon. And because of that, I wanted to recount. I called up my buddy Sorrento this morning, Sizz. You might know him as the man, the myth, the legend. If you guys have come to my live shows and have seen me do a act out of a tech sales guy, it's him. All right, he's an absolute maniac, but he's one of my favorite guys. And I want to talk about the only time I went to London and Dublin was with my friend Sorrento. We were going to follow, okay, to go to 2 different shows of a band you may have heard of called Greta Van Fleet. Okay, this is 2021. My balls still had not dropped. So this is also they need to do a behind the music. They should have listen, I know we're cutting funding for every sort of research project, for cancer, for, it's we're cutting research projects for cancer. What are the other ones? School,
National parks.
We're cutting funding for cancer research, national parks, NPR, PBS. Let's at least put a little bit of money into funding why Greta Van Fleet fell off so hard. That needs to be studied. We need a Pell Grant, a federal grant, to study how this band went from 2 banger albums, a debut, and I believe Age of Man as well, to just absolute dog shit, the other 2 albums, and just fell off the face of the earth. It needs to be studied because, listen, I was in their corner. I was defending. I was yeah, they sound like Led Zeppelin, but they fucking rock. All right, they rock. These guys have tasty licks. Beautiful voice, the voice of a screeching eagle. And in the last 2 albums, it just turned into 10-minute guitar solos while they go, The wizard's in the goblin's chest, and he sees the potions blue. I'm like, what is going on? So, if anybody from the administration is watching, which I'm sure they are at this point, if you could just like get like somebody at Berkeley School of Music, like give them like $5,000 to really do a deep dive on this, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, we went to go follow Greta Van Fleet in London. I go with my buddy Sorrento. We're both very type A people. We start our journey in Dublin, get to the Airbnb really early, get some breakfast. Our Airbnb hosted by two gay men. Two very, very nice gay men. If this baby doesn't shut up, I'm gonna freak out. Hosted by two very nice gay men. Are you hearing the baby? How loud is the baby in the?
It's not too loud. It's not too loud.
Are you sure?
We can edit it out.
Okay, we can edit it out. Or we keep it in.
Or we keep it in. Or we keep it in.
We're hosted by two gay men in Dublin. Very nice men. Really great pad. They show us our room. And then we realize, oh, they're going to be staying here the whole time with us. I forgot that with Airbnb. You can just be like, hey, you want to, how about roommates? Airbnb, how about roommates? That's their tagline. Airbnb, how about roommates? Enjoy Barcelona. But yeah, they were actually really cool guys, sweet dudes. They gave us some great inside knowledge. We started pounding beers almost immediately. And we spend the day, they show us like this good local pub to go to. Start having a couple Guinnesses real early in the morning. This is a loud baby. Are you sure this won't be distracting?
I think it's two. There's two babies right now, but you can't hear it.
You can
you're
barely
fine.
hear it.
Anyway, we start pounding Guinnesses at the local, and we run into a guy who I can only describe as looking like the Penguin. We start chatting him up. He's an old rugby lad. I think his name was Arthur. And, you know, we're just chatting up. He's talking. He's like, what, the Trump, they're gonna fucking, all this. And I go, I agree. I don't know what he's saying for the most part, but he's like a really fun guy. He's also drinking with us on a Thursday at like 1 o'clock. So this guy's an old retired dude. We're just fucking shooting the shit, having a good time. 6 pints later, he's like, we're like, yeah, we want to check out Raft Mines. We heard some other cool areas. He goes, Raft Mines, I'll give you a ride, no problem. We get in this guy's VW Golf. This is a stranger we met after we watch him also drink as many beers as us. We get into a stranger's car. We're blasting 9 Inch Nails, driving to a Raft Mines, going to a different pub to meet up with his mate. We're outside on a on a barrel, just crushing more Guinnesses with his guy. These are like two 50-year-old men that we just randomly met. And we're just getting legitimately Cronwall, dude. I'm getting absolutely welded for no reason. We go to the burger place that night. We can't even speak, dude. I'm like trying to talk to Sis. I'm like, gotta get a burger. And he's like, yeah, dude. And then the woman next to us looks at Sorrento, goes, you look like Jack Black. He goes, no, I do not. And I go, oh, no, I see it. Dude, I mean, dude, to be told you act like Jack Black, that rocks. To be told that you look like Jack Black, yeah. And then we went face to face, and I go, yeah, dude, you kind of do. You look like skinny Jack Black. And I think he was not happy with that. Next day, we wake up, have a fucking sausage roll. That's what I did. I ate a sausage roll every morning when I was over in Ireland in the UK. Had a sausage roll, chilling out during the day, go over to my buddy Liam Daly's, his buddy's flat, start pre-gaming for Greta Van Fleet. The biggest group of beauties you've ever seen. Here's what I love about a man from Ireland or the UK. No matter the shape they're in, they are not afraid to throw on a very form-fitting soccer kit. I love that. You got a paunch, you got a barrel, brother, I support Arsenal. Okay? Doesn't matter to me. Really stretching out that that Chevrolet logo. They look good, man. And we were just crushing cigs, having pints. Shout out my boy Dr. Schlong from Whitehall. Keep doing you. And went to the concert, man, at Fairview Park. It was absolutely mental, man. They crushed it that first night. They were playing too many songs off their new album, which I hated. Not enough Black Smoke Rising. I'd also seen Greta Van Fleet twice previously. Red Rocks was their best show that they did because they had just come out with their second album and it was absolutely bumping. Then we saw them live at House of Blues Boston. I believe me and Oli saw them in 2017. Crazy. Good times. But anyway, concert's great. Go to the pub after. Get kicked out because Sorrento had his shirt off the entire time. Get booted. Crush another day in Dublin, hanging out with the lads. Fly over to London that night. Get to our place. Hang out a little bit more. The next day, we just walk around London. And I called Sorrento to kind of ask, like, you know, what was his favorite parts of the trip. And this is what he said that struck me. He goes, my favorite parts were honestly just walking around and having nothing to do. It was the moments where we could stroll, take it all in, really appreciate being tourists was nice. Just popping into different shops, getting coffee, hanging out and like appreciating the culture was like because I remember that we did that in Dublin too. We go to Trinity College, just kind of walked around, took everything in. I appreciate him saying that because we did have a couple fights. We did have a couple blow-ups. He thought he could understand the subway system and it got us lost. And he was like, he turned to me at one point while we were lost and goes, dude, you are like terrible at directions. And I go, I'm following you. It's crazy. He's the man, though. So that night, we go to the Alexandra Palace, the Alley Pally, to go see Greta Van Fleet for the second time. Marcus King opened up for them, and I thought Marcus King was pretty good, too. I probably didn't need to see Greta Van Fleet a second night. I hate to see it. I hate to say it. You don't need to see most bands 2 nights in a row unless they're the Grateful Dead, unless they're a Fish. And like, I'm not really a jam band person. It's like, I don't even know if I'd love to do that. Once was enough. Grateful Dead, at least, they have a massive catalog, so it's kind of fun being like, oh, what are they going to play that I haven't heard? What are they going to play? Greta Van Fleet, I'm like, oh, they just played the same thing over again. Same set. They didn't mix it up at all. So, hung out in London, and then we had one more day back in Dublin. So we flew back, hung out for a little bit, and got to hang out with Liam and all of his mates at their local. It was called the Harry Burns in Clontarf. I guarantee you I'll be going back. It was just 70 guys that all looked like me. And everyone was ripping cigs, crushing Smittix, absolutely demolishing Guinness. And every conversation I had went like this. Oh, yeah, you fucking mate, yeah, you fucking American guy, yeah. Oh, you fucking, yeah. 5 hours of that. It was the best night of my life. Unbelievable. Not a woman within 5 miles. Just dudes screaming, smoking, constantly spitting while talking at each other. Bury me in Old Clontarf. Bury me at the Harry Burns. And that was my Euro trip. That was my first time back in the UK. And I'll be going back very, very soon. And by soon, I mean probably by the time this epi comes out. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm enjoying it. Or I'm going to enjoy it. Guys, get the tickets for that right now, okay? London, I'll be at the Pleasance Theatre. Those are actually starting to move. We have a chance of getting a lot of people there, which I think will be a lot of fun. Dublin's starting to move too. I think we won't have to cancel the show, which I was worried about. Edinburgh and Manchester, those are fucking low as hell, dude. Someone needs to buy those, please. But I'll be hanging out there in London, so come say hi. if there's anybody in the London area who wants to show us around, show us some good places to maybe get a tattoo, get some vinyl, or go vintage shopping, please let me know. Or just cool areas to go and drink. I'm going to be bringing Paige with me. We'll be hanging out. And yeah, I love any good recs that you guys might have. Comment below any good recs for London or Dublin, especially if you live there. And let me know if you're buying tickets. And if you want tickets, just fucking DM me. Yeah, man, I'm really excited for that trip. Oh, and by the way, other shows. New York City is coming up, guys. Gramercy Theater. We might be able to, if we sell that one out, I'll actually come. Anyway. Yeah, knew that. Charlotte, just been added. Charlotte on November 19th. Wilmington, North Carolina, 21st to 22nd. And then Portsmouth, New Hampshire, December 10th. And guys, the tickets for Boston are up on the site, me and Dan Toomey. They're up on the Punch Up, so check that out. Get those, they will sell out. Those will sell out very quickly. Final word. I guess a final word. Rest is important.
You don't want to do your real man of genius?
You're right, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm totally getting ahead of myself.
Sorry.
All right, I know who I want to do. In honor of London. Real man of genius. Here's to you, actors from The Wire. Actors from The Wire! Two of the main guys are very British and actually pull off really good Baltimore accents. Stringer Bell and Officer McNulty. They're the most British guys you've ever heard talk if you hear them in postseason interviews. But I'll tell you what, they're real good on camera. They got that Baltimore accent. When I hear Stringer Bell say, put the word out there, we back up, I get chills down my spine. Avon Barksdale's in jail, so he has to take over the count. And Officer McNulty, you make me really want to be a cop. I don't know what it is, but fighting for justice in a small city that's ravaged by political corruption and insecurities and by a lot of people that don't have fathers. So here's to you, actors of The Wire. I'm gonna probably rewatch this entire fucking show once again. And I'll tell you what, it's just as good as the last time. You are this week's Real Man of Genius. Real Man of Genius. Final word, everybody. As the sun comes out tomorrow, let it shine another day. Tomorrow, there'll be sun. No, rest is important. I've been really trying to take this week to get all my stuff in order. Paige and I are doing a little bit of a challenge. No booze, no alcohol until we go off to foggy London town. And then I'll be getting absolutely on the piss. But really just try and take care of yourselves, okay? Look, holiday season, right around the corner, okay? Take this time to kind of dial in your health. Don't go too crazy. I know it's easy to say fuck it, I'm gonna be eating a turkey leg anyway. No, you're better than that. You're disciplined, and you can do it. You know, I'm not saying go Goggins mode, but hey, make dinner at home during the week. Do a little thing like that, I'm guarantee you you'll feel 10 times better. So yeah, once again, my final word is take care of yourself, okay? Make sure you get your rest. And from everybody here at Big Al's Grill ASMR and TMG Studios, I just want to say, suck me from the back. You got anything to say, Kenny?
There's a squirrel eating strawberry behind you.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait, did we get that on camera?
We can probably push it. Pretty cool.